qualified for the Baku Grand Prix in Azerbaijan. This is the 8th race on the Formula One calendar, and I'm so looking forward to this. This is another one of those street circuits that is very punishing to the driver. If you make just one simple mistake, 1 millimeter off or 1 centimeter off, you can literally end your race in the wall. But guys, let's take a look at the track layout for the Baku Grand Prix. So the first big section that we need to take a look at on this track is the first huge straightaway. So this is turn 19. They call it turn 19 and 20, but I really think this is just mainly a straightaway. It's 19, 20, leading onto the main straight that leads past the start-finish line into what they call Lewis's corner at turn 1. But guys, this is the spot where we've seen so many mistakes. I mean, just last year we saw Lewis Hamilton when he accidentally tripped his magic button and he goes straight on and allows Sergio Perez to finish first, Sebastian Vettel and Aston Martin to finish second. There's so many chances for mistakes here. You can lock up going into that first corner and go straight on. We've seen so many tussles, so many crashes. We've seen Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo come together at turn 1. So guys, this is a section that really is going to take a huge amount of patience, but also you're going to need to have a set of cojones on you, if you're going to make a move going into turn 1. This is also a decent sector when you have a restart within the race, where we've seen in years past where we've either had a safety car or we've had a red flag where we've had to have a standing start. So this is definitely a sector and a section of the track that you want to really pay attention to when cars are following so closely behind now with these new 2022 regulations. Then obviously the second big, area where you can definitely make a move at, and we've seen some coming togethers at, is turn 2, and it's one of those sections that you can definitely make a move there, but you can also definitely end your race there. As we saw a couple seasons ago when Fernando Alonso was in the McLaren, it was just towards the end of his time there in McLaren, he ended up getting a double puncture when he got tagged by 2 different cars going into that corner. So, that's definitely an area that you can definitely make the move in, but it could definitely spell trouble if you do make any contact there. But this is also the second of the 2 DRS detection areas, or DRS zones, that drivers will be able to take advantage of on the straightaways. And so this is definitely an area now with the 2022 cars, with the DRS making so much more difference in passing, that this is definitely a sector you're going to want to watch as well once we get past lap 3 or after any restarts or after any red flags. And then the next biggest part of the track that I think we'd be stupid not to mention is obviously the castle section of the track. It's turn 7 through turn 12. It's this area that literally, if you're just millimeters or centimeters off, you are literally ending up into the walls, and your race is over. Even in qualifying, we've seen times where, during qualifying, we've seen Charles Leclerc just, miss it by an inch or two and ends up into the wall. So, especially with being on the edge, the entire lap, this is definitely an area that is so technical, but it's such a great part of the track. And obviously you don't see a whole lot of moves going into this castle section. It won't make your race, but it'll definitely break it if you're just millimeters off. Now, with us being 8 races, this will be the 8th race into the season. We didn't cover the points after the Monaco Grand Prix because obviously we were doing a live stream, which thank you so much for everybody that joined us during that live stream or even watched it after the fact. But going into the points this weekend, Max Verstappen obviously in the lead with 125 points. Then you have Charles Leclerc in second at 116. And then Sergio Perez is in third place with 110, only 15 points behind Max Verstappen. And going into this race, if Max Verstappen were to have a bad race and, maybe Charles Leclerc finishes a 3rd or a 4th, and Sergio Perez ends up winning again, Red Bull's got this tight balancing game that they're having to play right now, because obviously it's been a while since they've had two drivers fighting for a World Drivers' Championship, and so the fact that you've got Sergio and Max doing so well to start off the season, it's this tight balancing act of, you obviously Max is your number one guy, but now you've just signed Sergio Perez to a new 2-year deal, and so, he's obviously going to want to keep proving himself and proving that he can be a championship contender. So you obviously have this now, a little bit of an infighting at Red Bull. And with now them being so close together in points, you can't necessarily play favorites, because that could potentially ruin not only your World Drivers' Championship hopes, but it could also ruin your Constructors' Championship hopes, because right now you guys have got such a huge lead, as we'll cover. Looking at the Constructors' Championship. Now, looking at the Constructors' Championship, you obviously have Red Bull at the top of the list with 235 points. Ferrari's only, 40 some odd points behind there, 199, and then Mercedes is another 60 points behind, at 134. So, you're having to, you've got to be careful with the balancing game, but you've also got to maximize your points every weekend if you're Red Bull. And you can't play this, swapping positions, you got to let them race. And I hope for the sake of Formula One and, for the sake of this season, I don't think we need another controversy. And if you start to hear more and more of the team orders, you're going to start to see that controversy more and more. So let's just pray that Red Bull allows their drivers to race and not have, a potential another controversy in the 2022 season. So now it's prediction time. Prediction time for the Baku Grand Prix. So first prediction out of the way. We are going to have at least one safety car and or red flag. So I would say at least one. We've just seen in the past. It's almost a given that we're going to get at least one of those. And I pray, as I got a message today, that, I just hope it's not Mick from Haas. I really just hope for an uneventful race for Mick and just allow him to finish and, maybe finish at the bottom end of the points, something. Just don't crash, Mick, please. I beg you. But also the second of the predictions, my winner for the Baku Grand Prix. Now, this track has some similar thoughts for me for Miami. Now, obviously Miami had a couple, decent straightaways, but a lot of it was technical as well, whereas you've got the same here in Baku. You've got two really good long straightaways, but then you've also got that really good technical section in the castle section. And as we've seen, Red Bull's been very, very fast on the straights. And then, Ferrari's been obviously fast on, in the technical section, but we haven't really seen the same, speed output from Ferrari that we were expecting when they brought, updates to their power unit. With Red Bull just being so fast on the straights, I just don't know if Ferrari has enough to be able to, make it up in the, in the tough technical sections. And, with the updates that Red Bull brought, even at Barcelona, they've started to improve in that downforce category. I'm going to say it, Max Verstappen is going to win the Baku Grand Prix. You've heard it here first. But guys, let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think your top three is? Or who's going to win the Baku Grand Prix this year? Is there going to be a surprise? Is there, let me know. Is there going to be a safety car, red flag? Let me know that in the comment section down below. Guys, slap a like on this video for more weekly Formula One content. It also gets this out to so many more Formula One fans out there. Get them to subscribe to this channel by letting them see this video. And guys, subscribe if you guys are new to this channel for all that new Formula One content. Help me out so much. We're at 118 subscribers, guys. You've done so amazing. But guys, for the American F1 fan, I'm Eric Ringel, signing off.